As a footballer, you've probably been stuck in a rut before. You're doing everything right, but nothing seems to be working. You're nailing the drills and training, but yet you don't trust yourself enough to be able to pull them off in a game. And if this is you, today I'm going to share 3 ideas in this video that have helped me see massive progress in my game. I was stuck in a rut as well for a really long time, seeing minimal progress, but these methods have helped me approach training in a different way. Just because you choose to revert back to the basics or the fundamentals or do something that is easier, it does not mean that you're wasting your time. Sometimes the easiest way to level up is to first level down. I think with social media and hustle culture, it's very easy for us to feel that we have to do the hard things. And if you're not doing the hard things, then you're not leveling up. But if doing the hard things was all that mattered, why do pro footballers go into training sessions every single day and practice rondos? Why do they work on shooting after every training session? Why do they weave in and out of cones on the training ground? If they are so good at it, why do they do it over and over? Shouldn't they have perfected it by now? And it's because they understand that all the fancy things that they do in a match are built upon these fundamentals. None of that would exist if they didn't first live and breathe these basics. The body feints, they run in Messi's veins. Toni Kroos has the accuracy of a sharpshooter. Thomas Muller understands space in his bone marrow. They are known for these things, but they wouldn't have been known for it if they first didn't perfect the building blocks that their game is built upon. And sometimes you're at the stage where revisiting what is easy and perfecting that can bring you so many more benefits than just pushing your way through the hard things. No matter how good your passing range is or how many skills you can perform, you still have to work on your 1 and 2 touch passing. Because football, after all, is a game of 2 teams with 11 players on each team. And the only way to get the ball to your team accurately is to be able to pass the ball accurately. There are things in the world that are hard to obtain, but just because they are hard to obtain, it does not make them valuable. If you can do the easy things and get the exact same results as doing the hard things, why wouldn't you do the easy things? Not doing the hard things might make you feel left out, but that's all it is, a feeling. You need to do what's right for you based on the phase and the season that you're in. It's like sharpening an axe before cutting a tree. Sure, you can sharpen the axe in the beginning, but there will come a point where you would have to resharpen it. It doesn't make you a terrible woodcutter, it just makes you a more efficient one. Now, speaking of passing, if you are struggling to get chances in a game, here's what you can do. Instead of passing the ball and standing there and admiring your pass the ball and continue running. Everyone talks about how football is a pass and go game, but anyone rarely ever does it. If you do pass the ball and run after your pass, guess how many more chances you're going to get? A lot more. The point that I'm trying to get at is, whenever you start training or whenever you have started football, you probably started it with a lot of enthusiasm. You were really happy. But then somewhere along the lines, you forgot to follow through with your training. 2 weeks into training and you have gotten bored with the basics and you have decided to give everything up. And you know what? You might be down the right path. You might have dropped your ego and allowed yourself to return back to the basics. But despite that, you might not be seeing any progress. And that's because you're only kicking the ball when you're motivated. To do anything exceptionally well, you have to have consistency and persistency. You have to keep doing it despite making mistakes. You have to keep trying to learn how to kick the ball despite miskicking it every single time. That is persistency. And if you're doing something every day for an hour or an hour and a half, and you do that for 10 months, 20 months, 30 months straight, that is called consistency. And you need both of that to be able to do anything exceptionally well. And don't rush through the basics. Do it for as long as possible. Expect it to be a long, slow process because you will have to do these basics for the rest of your life. Over time, you can try and do new things, but there will always come a point where you will have to revert to the basics. Even the professionals who have been playing football for 20 plus years are still doing wall passes. There is no way that you are going to escape that. Now, on the path of success, you will face a lot of criticism because if you want to be exceptional, by definition, you have to be the exception. Your beliefs, your work ethic, your discipline, it will all be questioned by people who cannot understand your goals, and you will have to learn to endure them. And you might be able to build a mind that doesn't waver, one that is able to block out all these outside people. But what about the internal war that you have with your own brain? The war where you feel like a loser because you keep making mistakes in training. The war where you don't want to train and you want to keep scrolling on your phone. What do you do about that? The truth is, you should be proud if you're making mistakes. because that is a sign that you are learning and you are improving. Because believe it or not, struggling is one of the best ways to learn and to make the learning stick. Block practice is a way of doing the same drill over and over again until it sticks in your head. Mixed practice, on the other hand, is a method whereby you do different drills every single time, taking turns. And although mixed practice sounds like a waste of time because you're not actually mastering anything, turns out it's actually the better way to learn. And it's also true that in mixed practice, you will make a lot more mistakes than you would in block practice, and it will probably frustrate you a lot more because you feel like you're just making mistakes and you're not making progress. But the truth is, you're making the progress as you make the mistakes, because that is where you actually learn and improve. That is actually where your brain is making the connections. So turns out the term "you need to fail in order to succeed" isn't only true in the context of figuring something out, but also solidifying the information so that you can extract them at a later time. In context of football, it could be doing a different drill every single time, or just adding or removing components in the drill that you're already doing. If you're doing a particular drill and you're doing it very comfortably, you're not actually learning anymore, you're just repeating. The best way to figure out how much you're learning is by how much you're struggling to learn. Now, if you want to build a level of discipline that allows you to practice this for years to come, check out this video right here. Thank you for watching. I hope you've gained something valuable from this video.